2, 3. Vittu. Satana. 1, 2, 3. Perkele! Vittu, että vituttaa. Noniin. 1, 2, 3. Ei helvetti.
Welcome, everybody, to the Plumes of Hazard. I, as always, am your host who's making sure our audio is working this time. It is fantastic. To my left is the lovely, talented Fubaka. Down there in the catty corner is the voider of warranties, the master of blasters, Mass 09. And right down there below me is Sean.
I'm reading stuff.
the guy that used to be a host around here, but is coming by because it's great. Well, a host.
I mean, I'm ultimately as we were playing games, and you're like, I have to go do this, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go too.
Right. It's lunch. Tasty.
I guess I should probably also find chat too.
By the way, my Yeti source that we've been using for a year and a half or whatever in here, still dead, still not working. But the one that I made yesterday or last week on the fly, still working. Still working this week, which is good. Hello, everybody in chat. See some names haven't seen in a minute. What's up, Corey? Rifle, Festy, Quad, Tomas. What else we got in here? Rick. What's up, Rick? Ooh, an Ace. What's up, Ace? Dude, Ace sent me a picture on the Facebooks. I think yesterday.
Ace doesn't ever send me anything on the Facebooks anymore.
He got one of the big anniversary editions of the Narda.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was good. Looks good. What's up, Addy? 4-person panel. That's right. 4-person panel to discuss the sad state of vaping. That is vaping in the United States. Oof. So, if you are I suppose we just launched right into that. If you are a customer of Stash e-liquids, which you probably should be because they're the finest e-liquids on the market, I got a really sad email from those guys earlier this past week, basically saying fairly well, because he said he's got a few things he's going to try, but if they keep going the way it looks like it's going, might not be long to live. Next couple weeks, just like everybody else.
Although I think we still don't know what that means for us, right?
Still, at the moment, it's still business as usual, but there's an end date, and it's coming quick. So, if you want any Plumes stuff, you better get up on it.
Order it now.
Yeah, get up on it.
Although, admittedly, I tried to order a whole crap ton, and he was like, I don't think I have that much stuff.
Yeah, you're basically causing a shortage.
Well, I'm only trying to order like 7 liters. I said I go down to 5 liters.
It's you and Motherhead.
We don't have a plan. Like I have 2 options right now. I either get a stash of my shit while I'm waiting till we figure something out, or I quit vaping.
Right.
Like those are my options.
You could bite the bullet.
I don't have the time for that shit.
No, what time? You read a recipe, you get some syringes, and you fucking.
I don't have the
It's
time
like
for that shit. And with a 5-year-old in my house, I am not having pure Nick around. I'm not willing to take that risk because 5-year-olds climb and get into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Confirm. Yeah.
So I can either get a stash until I figure out what happens next, or I can try to quit vaping. Which
Right.
even then, I would like to have a stash to wean myself off.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in a similar situation. I'm not sure still what I'm going to do. I was kind of hoping that something would happen, and it does not. Still saving the children, while the rest of the world hates children, apparently.
Yep. Damn children.
Damn children.
Yep.
Get a lockbox, says Tim.
I mean, I need to have something to put in that lockbox.
Right.
That takes me back to, was it SNL, the old Al Gore lockbox sketch? In my plan,
Oh, wow.
we would put everything into
In the
a
box.
lockbox.
Yeah, in the lockbox. I forgot. What? I haven't thought
Is
about
that
that.
SNL skit?
That was old.
It's a long time
That
ago,
was a
but was
long
that
time ago.
SNL skit? Fuck, what is that from? I'm showing my age right now, damn it. Yeah, it was totally Saturday. It was an SNL skit. My plan, we would put everything into a lockbox.
Well, the funny part is it wasn't just a skit. I mean, it was a skit, but he really said that too. It was
Right?
like he was talking about putting, what was it? I think it was Social Security or whatever. He was putting in a lockbox.
Yeah.
It was before.
Oh,
after.
speaking of and weird transition to make, right? SNL to Tina Fey, who, and I know you're a big fan of 30 Rock.
I used to like.
Have you watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
I have not.
My wife watches that. She loves it.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It's Tina Fey's newer show.
Okay, I haven't
It's
even heard of it.
nuts.
This is the first I've heard of it.
It's really fucking good.
Was it?
It's about 4 girls. Well, really one girl who was part of 4 girls who got abducted by a crazy pastor and held hostage for 15 years. And her trying to adjust to normal life and not be like, not
After
go
being
through
freed or whatever.
Yeah, after being abducted at 15. So she's still essentially like the mental age of a 15-year-old.
Okay.
Trying to adjust to like living in New York City as a very positive, very happy person trying to get away from her demons.
Okay.
And eventually she gets a therapist who has split personalities, one personality when she's drunk and one when she's sober. And that therapist is played by Tina Fey.
Okay, that's
Because-
the Tina Fey character.
Yeah. Well, Faye plays a couple other characters, I think, throughout the course of the show, but she's in like, she made that show too.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a huge 30 Rock fan. And when I finished 30 Rock, I was looking into other stuff that she did because I wanted to watch, because I finished 30 Rock a second time. I wanted to like, did she do anything else? Like, I'd be interested if she did another sitcom because I really liked that show.
She was very funny in the show. But it was mostly the interaction between her and Alec Baldwin. That was,
oh God, yeah,
that was just. I mean, Baldwin's character in that show. I swear that character was written
so
for
good.
him. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he even said he agreed to do it because like they gave him, like they wrote it for him and then tried to convince him, and he was like, "No, I don't think so." And they're like, "Well, we'll only make you work 3 days a week, and like we'll shoot where your kid is." Like they basically made it for him.
Is that right? I actually didn't know that. That's funny.
But there's a lot of carryover characters like Daquan from Queen of Jordan, like the off-show thing from 30 Rock.
Never watched it.
No. You've seen it's in 30 Rock.
Oh, what?
Queen of Jordan is Tracy Jordan's wife.
Oh, yeah.
Her-
Right.
One of her posse, Daquan, is one of the main characters in Unbreakable.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of similar characters between the two shows.
Okay.
You mean Tracy Morgan?
No, it was Tracy Jordan in 30 Rock, but he was playing Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan is Tracy Jordan. Is
Right.
Yeah. It was
talk about
it was
a
whole big
character
part
actor.
of that joke.
He just played himself.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
a
whole big part.
ridiculous version of himself, granted, but still.
I am a
that's
Jedi.
I don't think it was much of a stretch. We'll put it that way.
No, probably not.
Yeah. I haven't watched that show in years. I should probably go back and rewatch that. Does it
Check
stand
out
up?
Unbreakable. It's on. Yeah, it still stands up.
Yeah.
It's still really good. But Unbreakable's on Netflix, and it was really good. I mean, it's 30 Rock stands up. I don't think it stands up as good as like Community does.
Mhm. I never finished
Community's
Community. I quit that
brilliant.
last season. I didn't even watch it.
It gets really bad after Donald Glover leaves.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like, it gets rough at that point.
Which is too bad because Chevy was great too. But
I mean,
Donald was great in that show.
Oh yeah, but that's what even took me to like I've been on sitcom binges, like old sitcom binges, and I hit Community, and then I was like Donald Glover. Okay, what else is Donald Glover? Oh, Donald Glover wrote for 30 Rock. Like he was one of the writers for 30 Rock.
I think that was one of the first things he did, right?
It was. So I pivot to 30 Rock, and then I'm like, what else has Tina Fey done? Oh, this other show.
I was talking to, I think I may have said this last week in the show, but when I was going through and watching Psych again, and by the way, I finished Psych again and watched the 2 movies finally.
Okay, so best part of the new movie, the Scrubs joke.
Which I have never watched Scrubs, so I didn't get the
I haven't
Scrubs
seen
joke.
the goddamn movie yet.
Like it's not important to the story at all.
Right.
But I guess it's harder if so the nurse in the new Psych movie was one of the main characters in Scrubs.
Oh, okay.
One of Scrubs and Psych's biggest similarities is the black guy, white guy, goofy relationship thing.
Right.
So when she made that comment of like, I've been down this road before, it's just a different set of Scrubs. That was a direct reference to her time on Scrubs.
Okay.
I fucking died when they cracked that joke. Like, I don't like Scrubs as a show. Like I've watched.
I remember you saying that. That was one of the reasons why I never watched it.
I just hate the characters.
Yeah.
Like I hate the main characters. There's a couple side characters I like. I hate the main characters.
Right. Well,
But-
Fu told me that that he didn't like the movies, the Psych movies. I enjoyed them. I thought they were fun.
I thought they were fun.
I thought especially the second one because I went back and looked it up and I learned that Olsen
Timothy Oldman had a heart attack.
literally had a stroke and then
Yeah.
played a guy had a stroke. And they wrote the movie around him, which is amazing, and he did a
So
great job.
That's really the only reason why they did the second movie because he couldn't be in the first movie.
Right, except for that one brief
Yeah.
like FaceTime or whatever that she was on, and even and then that's when I went and Googled it because it looked like he had a stroke. I was like, what the hell? Because like one of his side of his face was messed up. I'm like, A, why isn't he in this? And B, why does it look like he had a stroke? That's because he had a stroke.
The way that they talked about it was that James Roday, if the first movie was a love letter to the fans, the second movie was a love letter to Lasseter. And like to Timothy Oldmanston.
Okay, I don't doubt it because that's it's what it felt like, and it was great.
Oh yeah, it was also the debut of James Roday's retaking of his name. I was reading all about that too. Like it comes up, produced by and Sean Spencer's actor is James Roday Rodriguez.
Oh,
it actually comes up that in the beginning of his career, like he's Mexican.
Okay.
But he was not getting parts with his last name.
Oh, really?
And they said, come in and play for this gangster. And they said, oh, never mind. Your skin's too white to play like a Mexican.
Interesting.
So like he was not getting any jobs. So he went to his dad and said, Dad, I think I have to change my name if I want this to work. So he changed his name.
That's really interesting. I had no idea. I didn't know his name. I didn't know his last name was Gonzalez.
I didn't either. But he said he always felt bad about it. And then he decided recently that he was going to change his name back.
Yeah.
Because it never set well with him that he had to change his name to get parts.
Of course, that would be a terrible thing to have to do. I would hate it if I had to do that.
Right?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, when I saw it come up as James Roday Rodriguez, and then I think back to like A Million Little Things where the character that he plays is Gary Hernandez, like a Mexican guy. Apparently they did that because of him. And I was like, but I'm very confused. Like why he changed his name? Like
yeah.
I looked it up and I read this whole big interview that he did on it. I was like, kudos for him for taking back his name.
For sure. Yeah. Because it's not like he's like a big A-list guy anyway, right? But he's made.
He's got enough power now that he'll book stuff based on what he's done.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's got a portfolio or whatever, but
it is a shame that he.
Again, it
It's a
sucks that he
shame
had to do it.
change it. Oh yeah, it's a
But-
real shame that he had to change his name to get fucking parts.
Yeah, it makes me wonder that. I mean, isn't that the whole point of having like a headshot and that kind of thing, so you can be cast in whatever? Because I mean,
Apparently,
like
it's
it or
all
not,
about the
Hollywood is.
title.
Like it or not, Hollywood is all about what you look like, right? You have to fit certain parts.
Well,
You know,
names too. Like, do you
Yeah.
think John Wayne's name was actually John Wayne?
Right.
It was actually Marion.
Yeah,
his
dude,
name was Marion.
Name matters. Like he had headshots. Like it's his name. Like if he came up as playing a white character with that name, it wouldn't sit well with people or something. Is what he was.
maybe
His agent told him that, or something, or somebody told him that.
until
Who's the
he got his name out there, right? Until, so to speak. I mean, until he got his face out there and he had a portfolio where people would say, "Okay, this is what this guy looks like, and we can be used here." But I can see if they're going through a short list, right, and they need a particular looking person. Yeah, I can see how that would affect it. I guess it sucks, but I guess I can see it. Anyway, so the reason I brought up Psych is because I was talking to my sister about Dulé.
Dulé Hill, yeah. Gus.
I couldn't remember his last name. But she, like, her all-time favorite show is West Wing, and he's in that. And I was extolling how good he was in Psych. And she's never seen Psych. I'm like, dude, he's arguably the best character in the show because he's so, as a straight man, he's so good.
He's
Just
really,
so good.
really good at that role.
But anyway, so he's on the West Wing, which is a show I've never watched, even though it's my sister's favorite thing ever. I've never actually sat down to watch it, but I've heard it's good.
So I moved on to A Million Little Things because of James Rodriguez. Like because Sean Spencer was on another project, I went and watched that, and I ended up really liking that show.
Okay. Oh, dude, Danny Trejo, Festi is he's an amazingly kind person. He looks scary as shit.
Yeah.
But his heart couldn't be bigger. Now he was right. He's got a past. I think he's I don't know if he's a felon, but he's definitely like been in prison and like.
There's a documentary that came out about him that he did.
Oh really?
Yeah, my brother had me get it for him, and yeah, it's inmate number 1, I think it is. So I think it's about him, not 100%, but
I never quite understood why he's always associated with knives specifically. Like it's just
Because of Desperado.
yeah,
That's literally why it's Desperado.
It's
Like,
probably
all these
why.
people are shooting each other. I'm going to throw knives in the middle of a gunfight.
Was Desperado the one where he had that vest like full of throwing knives? Yeah. But every role since then, even on the Flash, right? He's just always a grizzled, angry looking dude, right?
Right?
So it is about him, and it says, having spent much of his early life in prison, actor Danny Trejo discusses his career and how he has overcome a life of crime and addiction.
Yeah. The story that I read was his initial like discovery, so to speak, because I think somebody just needed a bad guy, and he was like on the set like working as a janitor or something like that. He was just around.
You look like a bad guy.
Yeah, and someone was like, you look like a bad guy. Come here.
Dude,
Like literally played the same kind of person. Like he was also in Con Air.
He's 71 years old.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he's
And
starting to
still,
look
like,
like it, but
crazy.
for a long time he just had that just almost timeless bad guy look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
The mustache helps.
The mustache
Honestly, the
helps.
mustache.
The scars don't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing. He just looks so grouchy, but apparently his heart's the size of his body. It's just huge.
I believe that. I mean, you hear the same kind of stuff about like Lou Ferrigno too,
Yes.
for being a huge, scary-looking dude, like just the nicest guy ever.
Yeah. So Clay, that's a good question. I actually don't exactly know, other than the fact that from what I've been told, I don't think it's legal to sell after that date if you haven't been through the PMTA process.
Correct.
Which nothing has been.
And
Actually, didn't Avail Vapor actually get through it?
No, they didn't get through it. They got their PMTA accepted.
Yeah,
But
they
not
made it to
approved.
stage 2.
Yeah, they got into stage 2, and I think they're the only open system e-liquid that made it even that far so far.
Basically, on
I
that.
think there were two other like big companies.
well, and here's the other thing too, is I have heard about a few hardware manufacturers that either have something coming but here's the problem. Great. Make all the hardware you want. What are you going to do with it?
Right.
When look, even with Sean saying, yeah, I don't want to take the time to, make my own stuff. Well, there might come a point in time where the parts and pieces that are needed to make your own are going to start disappearing.
Oh, God,
And it's not about, the government putting you down. It's these businesses are going, I'm not going to sell to a bunch of DIYers. I used to sell this shit by the fucking metric ton.
Right.
I'm not going to sell it in little bottles. I don't care if it's a 55-gallon drum. That's too little for us. So
Right.
when those big guys go out and then more and more and more go, you're not going to find the nick. And then flavor manufacturers are going to be like, yeah, we're not selling to you.
Right.
A lot of the concentrate companies probably will go out because a lot of them popped up because of this market.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it's going to have pretty far-reaching effects.
So Rick's asking about unflavored e-liquid. The way I understand it, again, we're not lawyers, but the way I understand it is anything that's intended to be vaporized or equipment to use to be, to vaporize e-liquid. Any of it is tobacco products. That's why all of it says this product may contain nicotine, even if it's a dry atomizer. Like even all of it falls within this whole thing. So
even if it's
right.
Yep.
I haven't put any nicotine in it yet. God damn it.
That's right. So yeah, Fessy, that getting the nick, that we've been saying this for years. Getting the nick is obviously the big thing, right? Everything else you can buy VG anywhere. And since it has other uses, you can probably get away with it. The problem will be getting nicotine.
We were talking about this with Chuff when the deeming regs came out.
Yeah.
He's like, eventually, once they go for the nicotine, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But it's a good thing that I'm down to zero nick, and if I had to, okay,
I mean, I could probably live without the nick without too much of a problem. It's the act that I still enjoy. Like I'm on 3, but like I don't really necessarily feel like the nicotine need, but I don't want to give up the act, but it looks like that might be what has to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm in the same boat. Like I definitely enjoy the nicotine still, even though I'm at 3, but it's mostly the act, the ritual, the flavor, that sort of hand, that oral fixation thing.
Yep.
It's still a thing, and it's still enjoyable, and it's still something that I like to do to help me concentrate, all that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, it's definitely about to get really questionable. Because, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of people just won't close.
A lot of people what?
Like, 9.9 will hit, and a lot of people just won't close.
Yeah.
Like, they'll just keep selling until somebody tells them they have to stop.
Maybe.
Yeah,
well,
but
because the first warning doesn't involve a fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't before anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, but I guarantee you mean to tell me that states aren't going to get that little nudge, that little push saying from the government, hey, if you don't do this, we're going to fine you. If you do this, you might be eligible for these grants.
Right. I'm making the assumption that it's still going to be basically physically impossible to police. There's too many manufacturers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll happen.
It'll happen, but
if you have a county inspector, a building inspector, or anyone who has to come by your place, dude, I'm telling you, if it involves the government, they're gonna have people out there.
Massachusetts did it already in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
There's so few of those people compared to the number of manufacturers.
Well, I think the online vendors are going to be the hard ones, but any physical shop that's going to stay open, get shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Physical shops are going to be screwed.
Or
online,
any manufacturers where, like, all their information's in the system.
Right. The fly-by-night.
Yeah, I guess if they went through the PMTA process, especially.
Yeah, the fly-by-night bathtub
they all pay
crew
taxes.
Probably be okay, at least for a while. But
I mean, it doesn't look like anything's going to happen before 9/9, though. It's too close.
No,
no,
it's absolutely too close. And there's way bigger fish being fried right now.
Yeah, there's several bigger fish being fried. Yes, that is certainly true. Yeah, that's right, Tim. It'll be the chilling effect, right? And that'll probably be the case with the local shops, the bricks and mortar. That'll be where they hit, right? Somebody will get whacked, and then everybody else is going to freak out, and then close down.
Yep.
I haven't heard
It's not
that
going to be
first.
great. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's gonna suck. I mean, this is one. Like, was it last week or the week before? Somebody was saying, "Is this still a vaping show?" Like, that's one of the reasons why we talk about TV shows and stuff too.
I was going to say in about a week, like that's just not going to be legal anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I got about half of a 500 mil left if I'm lucky.
Oh.
Yep. So definitely get your orders in to your favorite places. I want to stock up a little bit, make some room in your freezer. Drop some of that in there.
I got bagels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He'll be my juice daddy if he's willing.
Yeah, definitely start following people like Fresh, right? Fresh or Nine to help the DIY stuff while you still can do that and get a hold of stuff. For sure. Yeah, Fessy, that's what I mean. Like, so, and I it was a little bit tongue in cheek when I say the bathtub guys, but a lot of the online only shops, they'll be around for a little while, I bet. Well, at least while they can continue to get ingredients, right? But if they really lock down the nick, that'll be a problem.
Yeah, and if these ingredient manufacturers shut down because they're not getting orders that can keep them afloat.
Well, the ingredient people have been around forever, and not for vaping, right?
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but most of the
a lot
big
of them
ones.
have popped up.
Vapor.
So you might lose some of your favorite things, or they're going to discontinue a bunch of the more specialty flavors
Maybe.
that probably popped up because of vaping, right?
Right. For sure. Ugh. I'm full. That salad's sitting heavy.
It'll be interesting, that's for sure. And a bummer. Damn, now I'm bummed out.
I know it. Addie just posted a link in chat from Mixer Helping Mixer's Facebook group. Looks like you need to search it on Facebook.
That's the first mistake, is having a Facebook group.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Shit'll get shut down.
I mean, it hasn't yet.
There's a lot of things that are a lot worse than vaping stuff that happens on Facebook that doesn't get shut down.
Oh, of course, but all it takes is one person to report to Facebook.
Right, for sure.
So Clay, just send Biggles an email and ask what's going on, man. Like, Jay's a decent dude. He'll probably, I'm sure he'll talk to you.
Yeah, he'll at least let you know what the plan is anyway.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I would just hit him up. Like, he's
knowing Jay, knowing Jay, he's got a plan. He'll be able to.
He's got a plan. Even he'll be fine on juice.
Yeah.
But
it just might all go.
I've been ordering from Bombies.
Mm-hmm. It may look different, right?
I've actually seen surprisingly few statements from vaping companies on their plan, though.
Me too. I have as well. I think
the writing's on the
Stash
wall.
is the only one I've seen an email for yet.
That is the only one I've seen an email for sure.
Now, there's been people like I've had a few emails of people like referring to it previously, but not any like plans, like you said. Like, this is definitely what's happening. This is what we're gonna do. That kind of thing. That's right, Tim. DIY or die. Yeah.
He's a good dude too.
Wait, yeah, that's right. I said Fresh earlier, but I didn't say DIY or die. Definitely check them both out. Yeah, YouTube's, Discord. You hit them up on Reddit, probably. Josh said, "My 1,200 all went to DIY stuff." Your Trump bucks? Is that what you're talking about? That's funny. Kite and Cloud sent one out too. You know what? I never ordered from Kite and Cloud. I know they've been around for a long time. I think that was when we started putting our own stuff.
Probably. I've never ordered from them either.
Is Vapor Chef still around?
What's that?
Is Vapor Chef's crazy ass still around?
I don't know.
I
haven't ordered like anything external since we made.
Well, yeah, I know. Neither have I really, outside of like. Well, I consider Bombies internal because I order from Biggles. But,
right.
But I was still following the drama on ECR when he had his meltdown and so forth.
Right.
And then I heard he came back, and then I stopped.
Yeah, which time is correct?
Yeah. he had a handful of those, if I remember right.
I just remember one
Pick
of
a
us made
vehicle.
a meme of his car because he drives like a very Jeepy owner
Jeep.
Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that has his like thing on it.
Yeah, if you could read this, turn me back upside down or something, whatever, one of those things. Versus like the biker t-shirts.
Okay, so he did disappeared. I thought he came. I heard he'd come back or something.
Mm.
I used to know someone that worked for him.
Oh, really?
I remember when he
Yeah.
imploded. That was a long time ago.
But I mean, this chick worked for him like when things were still good. I think she worked for him for like a year or two, just fulfillment and such, because she lived out there.
Word.
He was in our chat before I got there.
Should we all get violins for the show that happens around that and play Down with the Ship?
Mm-hmm.
Down with the sickness.
Yeah, Tim, I don't doubt that. BX Vapor is definitely the kind of guy that would do that as well. The kind of guy that would have to be like told specifically himself to stop.
I have a feeling that'll be a lot of people. Really do.
Yeah. Unless they come out with a bunch of, start threatening fines and we get the chilling effect like we're talking about, right? It's going to have to be.
Well, I think that's what happens. Once fines start coming,
Yeah.
or when somebody gets arrested or
And
something.
there were a lot of people who closed up just when the regulations were proposed.
Right. Yeah.
There were.
When those fines start
Before
coming, they don't
anything
stop
concrete
coming.
Came down. People were just like, you know what? Cash.
You got to hit the ground running.
I'm just reminded of the sadness of it all because, like,
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
yeah, it's not that knowing that it's coming. It's not even sad that like I might have to give up the hobby or the fix. It's that through fucking 6 or 7 years, man, we met so many people who like rebuilt their life through this industry.
Yeah. So
And,
some people
like-
literally that, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And people who literally did the opposite too.
Mhm.
Also
Like,
true.
It's basically it's just forcing a lot of really good people out into nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part, man. It's the jobs that this fucking destroys. And the people's lives that this potentially destroys. Hopefully, since this happened, people were smart and weren't running around buying Maseratis and shit.
They did.
Or at least diversify into fidget spinners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Fetsy. That's what I was talking about. That's the kind of guy that BX guy is, because he was what was it? Blue Dot? What was his name before that? Whatever it was, he got a cease and desist
Mm-hmm.
for the name, whatever it was, and changed it over to BX. If I'm remembering the right Redditor, I'm pretty sure that he always seemed like a cool guy, but his product names were questionable. Like he had like all of them were like gross sexual innuendos and stuff. Like it was a little cringy, but he always seemed pretty cool. Oh, that's cool, Tim. I didn't know that. Very, very.
All right, so non-depressing topics.
Yeah, exactly.
I see
I
that.
hope whoever got that
I think Lance was streaming on Twitch like some months ago.
Was it really?
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought you were kidding at first.
Did he send out a
I'm
monkey link?
pretty sure I might have mentioned it when I saw the link
Yes.
on Facebook.
Does he have an OnlyFans? Just grossed me out a little bit, that joke.
Like, why'd you go there?
I'm sorry. Oh, hey.
This is like after dinner for a lot of us.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that I'm
say
really
that.
full from dinner too. Like,
You would be amazed how many people are actually moving to that for like a non-pornographic service, though.
right? That's
Because the money's there. It doesn't kill you like YouTube and Twitch. Their standards are lower. Like there's a lot of people moving in that direction.
I saw
Until it gets bought out by a tech giant.
Well, sure.
right. I saw a meme or an image macro on I think it was Facebook that had a link to only Grans, Grans. And it was
Oh,
like this
no.
Posted
little,
on my Instagram story
this little old
yesterday
lady was like, I'll bake 2 pies for you a month for $6 or whatever it was.
for,
It was
for
like,
$5.
So
I'll take that
speaking
deal.
of,
I would
Speaking
totally
of-
take that deal.
Hell yeah. I was
you
I'm
ever
gonna go
see
check this shit out now.
Grand? Did any of you ever see the Grand Pad?
No, what is that?
I'm gonna link it inside
I
chat.
was
You
gonna say, that's
should-
quite the SKU.
I'm gonna link it inside chat. You should share it. It's phenomenal.
Should I?
Yeah, you should. It's not at all bad.
Okay.
It's just phenomenally.
Oh my
hilarious.
god, it's just big icons.
It's just phenomenally hilarious.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. I missed an H. Grand Pad. Oh,
Grand
that's funny.
Pad.
All right, hold on. Let me share it to everybody. Here we go. Was it a tablet?
It's a tablet / phone for old people.
This is legit.
Dude, it's like the jitterbug for cell phones.
It is for
Yeah.
tablets.
Nice big icons. You get a companion app and web portal so you can connect to private family networks.
That's awesome. So that reminds me of, oh my God, what was that?
I don't know about this. It's got a shield that says safe from scam and
Hold
spam.
on. It's got, this is where I get a kick because this is something that you see for kids, right?
Yeah.
Games. Play over 15 fun and stimulating games developed specifically for seniors.
Hey man, you got to keep that brain pliable, right? You got to get that plasticity up.
So yeah,
So
go ahead.
I'm trying to remember what it was, and my mind's gone completely blank. But there was a service, and this is like in the this is like in the late '90s or something. And my grandmother got this thing that was like the size of a VCR that hooked up to her TV that puts you on the internet in a lot the same way with like big icons, and it was like a super basic browser. And damned if I can remember what it was called.
There was. Well, do you remember Web TV?
Web TV.
Okay,
That's what I was talking. That's what I was thinking
because
about.
Web
I
TV,
remember Web TV.
Web TV was one of the first. It was slow as shit, but
Yeah.
you could do it. It was over satellite.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you had this funky ass keyboard.
Right. That was my grandmother's, I think, only foray into the interwebs back in the day before she passed.
Web TV, the smart TV of the 90s. Oh my God, you should see the picture of it. That's great.
All I remember is even back then, I looked at it and went, wow, that's bad. Like
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
slow, even for back then.
It was bad.
Oh my God.
And that was, back when you still had to occasionally dial up if you were traveling or something. Like it was still pretty new.
Anybody remember ever trying to play video games on Laserdisc?
I never had a laserdisc player.
Yeah, same.
So growing up, my dad's neighbor was like loaded, so like his kid had all the toys. So I used to go over there because they had a Laserdisc player, and like the big ass ones, right?
Yeah.
And they had like a Zelda game for Laserdisc,
Yeah.
and it was really bad.
I remember seeing things about it, but I never played it.
Yeah, I played it. It was really bad.
Oh, it's really like flannel to the way. There, it's the Plumes jacket. Yeah, no, I went from like VHS to the hell was that? I just got a weird notification. I have no idea what it was. Anyway,
I think I might have heard that.
It went boop boop.
Yeah, I
That's-
heard that.
That's not a tone that I know. I don't even know what that is.
I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah. And the problem is both my Mac and my PC both share the same 2.1 speakers. So it could have been from either one. I have no idea which one it came from since they're both running at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, I went from VHS like to DVD. Like I skipped the laser discs and that kind of stuff in between.
I mean, I did too, other than this kid having one.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of like more obscure consoles, I had a buddy down the street when I was real young, like single digits young, that had a ColecoVision. And I think that's the one that Motherhead was talking about recently that they were re-releasing, right?
Yeah.
And it looks really cool. like not like a $5 Nintendo with 5 games loaded on it, just shell.
Yeah.
It actually looks like a proper like a system,
Oh, nice.
and it looks really really cool. He's linked it a couple times in the chat, and I think he said he was planning on buying one. I think it's coming out this fall sometime, maybe winter. It definitely
Dude,
looks cool.
I'm just still laughing at this website because it literally, like, you could stick a different name on this and it would be for my kid.
Yeah.
Configurable website buttons. The family administrator has full control over customizing the grandpad. Manage a list of approved preset websites so that the user can shop, learn, play, listen, watch, and connect with what they love.
Perfect. Yeah. Just redo the copy, right? And it's just for kids.
Yeah, right. Grandma, I don't trust you. You can only go to these 5 sites.
You can have Amazon and Facebook. That's it, or whatever.
Yep.
And like Fox News, probably.
I wouldn't even let them have fucking
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
For games, it has solitaire, bingo.
No, they just got the
Bridge.
Bible for iPad. That's it.
There you go.
Ooh, it has slots. My mom loves the slots
Of
game.
course they do.
How many people they get to install those fucking apps on
Oh,
their
tell me
phones
about
that steal
yeah.
all kinds of data with the slots? All right, so what I was talking about with how it has that shield that says
Safe and secure.
safe and
scam
secure
free.
against So I had a person that I was helping that is probably in their 70s, and they still use their computer. And they said, hey, I got a message from a longtime friend that I hadn't heard from in a while on Facebook. And, I was talking to them and this and that. And they said, oh, you should, they talked for like an hour. They said, you should fill out this form for these grants, because this person that they were talking about might be able to get some help, whatever. So she's like, and I thought that was kind of odd. She goes, and I was like, okay, well, did they send you a link or anything? She goes, no. She goes, that's what was weird. She goes, I was like, okay, well, what kind of information did they ask for? And they were like, well,
credit card number, mother's maiden name.
The person said, well, they just asked for my email, and I gave it to them. But later on, I was thinking, and they're like, well, I called my longtime friend that messaged me on Facebook, and they said, absolutely not. It was not us. But before that, I got a message, and she's like, well, I never got anything in Messenger, but something came via email. And I was like, okay, you didn't click on it, right? She goes, no, it went into junk mail, but I printed it. I'm like, you printed what? The form. I'm like, oh boy. So I'm like, all right, let me connect to your machine. And luckily, they were smart enough to not fill out the form online. And by printing it, they just printed the web page that it went to. So, but the information that was in there was, and they were like, oh, we would have never filled this out online. But just kind of, shows you that the thinking behind, okay, well, I'm still fine. I printed it. I'm still fine. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a file downloaded or something. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, just open this PDF. It'll be fine.
Yeah, fine. And it's the gift that just melts.
I just can't with this thing. 2 ways to ride. You can either use white glove assistance that they charge you for to go wherever you want, or you must request a ride that a family administrator has set up preset locations that you might want to visit regularly, such as doctor's offices, grocery stores, or community functions.
Dude, that's actually a really good idea.
It's great.
That is a really good idea.
You can only go to these 5 sites, and you can only visit these 4 places.
That's right. Anywhere else, you have to ask me.
God, I don't want that. I really don't want that.
You don't want that
That's
responsibility?
Your kid, you better start sweetening up your kid now. She's gonna put you in a fucking home with robots.
They also have articles of interest, and the articles app includes curated posts from all types of sources. But it's only curated news.
And when you're at that home, Sean, that your treatment is going to be each day they give you 3 Lego pieces that don't build the same thing. They build 4 different
Right?
things.
Oh, speaking of Lego.
I know. I see the black box back there sticking up. Big old
Now you did it.
Thunderdome.
Way to go, Masty. Jeez.
All right, that's it for me. Bye. See you later.
This thing is dope, though. I haven't put it together yet, but it's massive.
Holy crap, that thing's huge.
It's your big
This
black
is the
car.
1989 Batmobile. And if I can get this,
Does it
that's
vibrate?
the actual size of the back of one of the tires
Oh, damn.
right there. It's like over 2 foot long. It's 3,300 pieces.
Damn.
So like, this is my next Lego build project after the NES that's back there.
That is huge.
Wait, but the NES is done.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The NES is
okay.
done. I did the Lego Architecture San Francisco one
Where-
that my
where
wife
that
got me, and then I
big-ass
have.
car?
Huh?
Where are you gonna put that big ass car?
I have no idea. I'm already because I forgot I also did Boba Fett.
Does the San Francisco come with little
Oh,
Lego
nice.
human feces and hypodermic needles?
No,
and
it
shit?
doesn't. So, like, it's a full like 3D model of
Realistic.
Boba Fett's helmet.
That's cool. That one looks a little simplistic compared to the Batmobile.
So that one was like 500 pieces. The Batmobile's 3,300 pieces.
Exactly. That looked a little coarser.
If it's anything like the NES took me 9 hours and it was 2,200 pieces or 2,600 pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a functional NES?
Actually, kind of, yeah.
Is it
so,
really?
Like, you can't play a game on it, but it does a whole bunch of other shit. Hold on, I'll just get it.
Oh, that's the one with the moving like backdrop, right?
It's the one with the rolly thing.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you just meant like the base, like the unit, the NES unit
No,
itself.
the NES itself does a bunch of stuff too.
Oh, really?
Hold on, I'm getting it.
Do you have to blow it?
There is a cartridge that you build and put inside of it. So the first part of it is the NES itself, which has controller,
Oh,
NES, including all the little like video hookups and stuff on the side. And
little
back.
AV hookups. That's fun.
So from there,
Oh,
pop it open,
Yeah,
pull out the game cartridge.
that's too thin. That doesn't look right.
It is a little bit too thin, but it works.
My finely
it's
calipered
on-
eyes say no.
Hey, it's on a spring-loaded mechanism. That works for me.
That's cool.
But here's where it gets really, really fucking cool. This was the coolest little Easter egg I've ever seen. So I just pulled off this corner.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody remembers Mario World,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
cool.
World 1-2.
yeah. With the shortcut even.
With the warp pipes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like built right into the side. And then the much larger part of it, to be honest, is TV. Which when you
Now see, that was pretty badass.
spin it, but if I turn on Mario here and pull off this piece,
Whoa. He kind of turns into Wario a little bit.
That's
a bit
funny.
creepy. Mario's like, I'm a smoking a PCP.
he'll actually like run through and jump on enemies and all that stuff.
That's really fun.
And when you stop, it'll play the ending win song.
Da-da-da-da-da, that one.
Once I move him off. Oh, moved him off the wrong way, but because I scanned the QR code again.
That's still cool though.
This was really fun to build. Oh, there it is.
I couldn't hear it, but I believe you.
And it's got a functioning clicky volume knob like an old TV
Nice.
or
That's
channel
cool.
knob that only goes so far in either direction.
That was some good hard stops, huh?
This was a really fun build. And pandemic life, like I'm trying to stay occupied and
Mm-hmm.
have things that make me not crazy, and Legos have taken that spot a little bit.
But yeah, that's right, Dib. It would be cooler if it actually worked, but then that would be a little silly.
It is a masterpiece of Lego engineering, for fuck's sake. Come on.
The rolly thing and the bouncing guy, that's pretty cool. That's all there is to it. That's pretty cool.
Legitimately, like that whole internal section of building out a level that you can fucking scroll through.
Yeah.
They could have just made this NES and been done with it, but they're like, no, we're going to make a TV and a functional Mario level, like that you can make Mario move across. Like, that's fucking amazing.
For sure.
The Batmobile apparently does some cool stuff, but I don't think it has anywhere near as many pieces as this one, as many moving pieces as this one.
Right.
They made a grand piano that actually works. That's another new set.
That's crazy.
Damn, really?
Like, it's a grand piano that you can play.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of want that set too.
I bet. Festy says if you were a real man, you'd build the back car in a bottle.
I saw that.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm glad we had it. We ended in a little bit of an uplifting note because it started off as a little bit of a bummer, but it should be a little bit of a bummer because, well, vaping's in trouble, everybody. So pull up CASA like Addy was talking about earlier. Click on some of those links. Do what you can do. Get your orders in sooner than later. That way you can get your favorite e-liquid stocked up until something happens, whatever it happens.
And come play Final Fantasy 14 with Angsty and I.
Oh, so you can do that. Sean got me to re-up that and start playing that again. You
and
can do that.
A grand pad for your elders.
And get a grand pad for your elders. And stay safe out there and, do something crazy like just be nice to somebody today. How about that?
Bring your chairs inside, Angsty.
Yeah, is it gonna get windy
it might
again?
fall over.
That's true. It might be bad. Oh yeah, that's true. And anybody on the Gulf Coast, you guys really stay safe, yeah?
Yeah, let's hope they're not there right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I saw a funny thing that said if any of y'all are talking about evacuating, it said scrape that Salt Life sticker off the back of your truck.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of come in, under the radar a little bit.
Yep.
Look at all this good advice we've got here at the end of the show.
Welcome.
Control your old one's every movement.
That's right. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We will see you guys next week. Same Plumes time, same Plumes channel. Deuces.